first heard the term sidebar when I was negotiating the multi-billion-dollar TV theatrical contract when I was an officer with SAG-AFTRA. And the sidebar is a sidebar conference in a court of law, a discussion between the lawyers and the judge held out of earshot of the jury. And in the spring of 2020 is when Michael told Archangel Michael, whom I work with in my psychic work, told me that I was going to be doing these readings for you guys here on YouTube, and now is the time. So these sidebars are these little conferences, short little tidbits of information pertaining to a situation going on in your life right now that's going to be my psychic channelings for all the 12 signs, and then we get a little bit of tarot on it, and it's just a little bit of discussion held out of earshot of the people in your life that this pertains to give you a little bit more information as it's guided. So enjoy. Hello, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising. Welcome to your private, YouTube private, one-on-one sidebar mini conference with me. I have a psychic download for you, and we're going to get into the tarot a little bit here. This detail that fits into something larger going on for you, it's interesting because the download is to keep an open mind. And what it felt like is that you really don't want to. You really don't want to. You keep sort of, it's like even if you tell yourself that, you're still pushing something in your mind. You're still... This is advice and guidance that really requires kind of a high level of self-awareness and self-discipline. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, you either know that you do this or you know that you're doing this in this situation. Maybe it's just like one instance or one occurrence, or maybe it's a mental pattern, I don't know. But you're either aware of this and you're not inspired to do anything about it at all, or you're not inspired to really change, like you don't want to, like you really don't want to, or there's a lack of self-discipline where you do want to change and you do want to sort of even free yourself of some kind of mental baggage. It's like a mental energy here, really, but you just don't. And then some of you, so if you're cross-watching, then you're cross-watching for a Gemini who doesn't have the self-awareness, that they think they're being open-minded. So they may even be, and the way to tell the difference is if you tell your Gemini to be open-minded or something like that, or suggest it, they get defensive about it. If they're especially triggered, if they're especially defensive about the open-minded thing, and they just start attacking you right away, or they start getting super defensive, that's how you know that you've really hit that cognitive dissonance in them, and they're reacting from that place. So, and you know, all these mechanisms, all these fears and defense, like it's all, people are just trying to protect themselves. So Gemini, this could be someone that you're dealing with. Like, this doesn't have to be you. It could be someone else that is not open-minded, and you're trying to tell them to be open-minded, and you know, it could work vice versa. So if that's the case, remember that all of these people, whether they're being critical or insulting or defensive or triggered or petty or disruptive or attacking or whatever they're being, they're trying to protect themselves. There's all these mechanisms that humans are, you know, so you're not actually dealing with a person. That's not who they are. You're not dealing with the person you love. You're dealing with their mechanisms. You're dealing with their issues. You're dealing with their problems. So try, and I feel like I'm telling you this because you can really do this very successfully, unless you have a lot of Cancer in your chart. But the detaching from whatever they're giving you. I feel like you're getting really criticized. That's just how I feel. I don't really feel like Gemini is criticizing. I feel like Gemini is getting criticized. Like addressing down. She's showing me like in military when someone, you know, didn't tuck in your bed sheet or something. I don't know. And they really like dress you down. That's kind of what I'm getting for Gemini. So just keep that in mind, that if that's happening, that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with someone else's issue, and that it's very likely not personal. And even if there is a kernel of truth in what they're saying, you don't have to take it so personally, unless, like I said, you're a Cancer. A lot of Cancer energy. Let's see what the tarot has to add to that. That was a lot of psychic information. Let's see what the additional guidance is from the tarot for my Geminis. So try to keep that in mind when you keep your open mind and whatever this is that you're dealing with. Ooh, okay, that was a lot. That was a lot. But we do have the Ten of Wands, and this could be what you're sort of, the weight. It could be that someone's being very critical of you. And then we have a bunch of these other cards. I'm not going to take any of these guys. I'm just going to take that Ten of Wands. So you have to ask yourself, Gemini, can you reorganize the load that you're carrying so that it doesn't feel so horrible, it doesn't feel so heavy? Or do you have to unload some of this and be fair to yourself? Because depending on who it is and what your context and what the situation is will help you determine how much are you really going to carry, how much are you really going to bear. And like, you're taking responsibility for a bunch of stuff. Like, maybe you're even taking responsibility for someone else's issue. But if you're doing that, you got to get to a point where you have to decide that your own quality of life is, you have to put that a little bit ahead of someone else's issue. Okay? Okay. I'm going to leave that there, Gemini. I feel like that's given you a lot to think about. I am an active working professional psychic spy. You can book me on my website, theartegan.com. However, I really recommend the link in the description box below to Keen. They are the largest network of psychics all over the world. And their price points are so much better. And guys, I did what I didn't want to do. I had to raise my rates, and so I feel so good that I can offset that rate increase with recommending to you people that, like, it's kind of incredible to be connected to this larger thing going on with this Keen. So I would really encourage you to check those guys out and see where you're guided and who you're guided to, because their price point is so much better than my price point. But if you guys are interested in developing your own psychic ability and learning and taking classes and getting more readings, I go live 12 times a week. I do special energy healing spreads. I do astrology, tarot, and psychic classes. It's all on Patreon. And patreon.com/theartegan. You can toggle up, toggle down, hop on for a month or two, hop off for a month or two. It's there for you. You know, if you hop on, I recommend in the beginning of the month, because Patreon will charge you the first of each month. If you hop on in the middle or in the later part of the month, really go back to all of the content, because you have access to all of it. Once you join Patreon, you have access to everything. So you just go and use those tags, because I tag every single post, and you can have access to all of the other readings that are already there. So it's really cool. It works so well for me, and I love my patrons, my Patreon community, and what we're doing over there. It's very, very special to me. So I'd love to have you guys, but if not, if the sidebars are getting you through, I'm sorry that they're late or staggered, or, you know, things happen. So thank you so much for being here, for your presence, and for your good photons. I am sending you all of my blessings, especially all my little gemmies, my little gems, sun, moons, and risings. And I will see you all next week for next week's sidebar. Until then, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads. Mwah.